with all this James Harden, Daryl Morey drama and just real questions surrounding the Philadelphia 76ers and if they're a legitimate contender or if they can be a legitimate contender after trading James Harden, I think the question that everyone's coming back to is what does Joel Embiid want and does he want to stay with the Philadelphia 76ers? For me personally, as an outside observer, his comments at the start of the offseason where he was pretty much like, I don't really care where I win, I just want to win a championship, gives me an indication that he's not super loyal to the city of Philadelphia, and neither he should be. Like, yes, they did embrace him, but he's also embraced the city and has done a lot to give back to the city. So I think it's totally within his right to demand a trade after pretty much having to go through after already going through a Ben Simmons situation where he had to deal with his second best player sitting out for most of the year. So with that in mind, I came up with a couple of trades for Joel Embiid that I think are pretty good value for both teams and move both teams towards the direction that they want to go. The first one, as you can probably tell, is a New York Knicks trade. I think there's two trades for the New York Knicks to make. The first one is an RJ Barrett Evan Fournier trade that also sends three unprotected first round picks in 24, 25, 26, and a top 3 protected first round pick in the 28 season. The stipend rule does not apply to the New York Knicks in this situation, as they still have picks from other teams in all of those years, allowing them to trade their own draft pick. Very cool thing about the stipend rule: as long as you have a pick as a first round pick in that draft year, you can trade all your other ones. So if you had a top protected pick from Houston and your own, you can trade your own and keep that Houston pick as your pick for that year. So that's what the New York Knicks are doing in this trade. RJ Barrett is coming off a pretty good postseason where in his last 9 games, he averaged 21, 5, and 3 on 58% true shooting, which is above league average, and showing that he's starting to put it together on both ends. He's also been balling out in FIBA with Team Canada and is looking like he could be able to take that jump after getting more on-ball reps in FIBA, kind of being the main staple of that team alongside SGA. Evan Fournier is just to get the money correct. I think you pretty much have to put him into this to make the money work without giving up a too valuable player. And I think the Philadelphia 76ers could either flip him for some potential second-round picks or just use him as like a nice vet spot-up shooter who can give them some extra offense on their bench. The next trade that I thought of for the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks is Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, and all the same first-round picks from the last trade package. This trade package I don't think is as in favor for the Philadelphia 76ers, as they only get one decent young player in Quentin Grimes, who I don't really think has all-star potential. I think he's going to be a solid role player for a lot of years, but I just don't really see that upside. And Julius Randle has a bunch of years left on his contract, and he was just an All-NBA caliber player, so I definitely think they could find another trade for him, but they won't get the same level of return as I think if they just took RJ Barrett and Evan Fournier straight up. I like both of these trades for the New York Knicks, as just getting Joel Embiid alongside Jalen Brunson and one of RJ or Julius Randle is one of the better big threes in the league. Both of those guys are able to score, create for themselves a little bit, and do things like passing and playmaking on like a secondary, tertiary level. I also think Jalen Brunson would be like a great point guard for Joel Embiid because he can be the leader of the team vocally. He can be the main type of guy on offense. Yes, I guess Joel Embiid is an amazing scorer, but I think his best role is as the second best scorer on your team and the best defender. Joel Embiid in the playoffs is an elite defender, and he's just not that in the regular season. I think in this type of teamwork or team framework, he would be your second leading scorer and be a real defensive player of the year candidate, which I think he has the upside for. So both of these trades I think are really good for the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks, and I think they both should be looked at as real trade packages for Joel Embiid.